Hey, and welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our journey to the 250,000 subscriber. Look, there's so much craziness going on right now. I want to talk about something that I find personally grotesque, reprehensible, and that's Governor Mark Robinson, nominee for governor of the great state of North Carolina. All right. This guy is an anomaly, to say the least. He's a bloviated black man who calls himself a black Nazi, who has the most warped perception of slavery, somebody that Donald Trump constantly refers to, calling him a great guy, that he's Martin Luther King on steroids. Looks like he ate Martin Luther King, but that's a whole nother story. I want to get into this because this is so disturbing on so many levels, and it's just, again, proof positive that the man, and I'm referring to Donald J. Trump, who wants to be the 47th president of the United States of America, believes that this guy is a great guy. So the first clip that I want to show you is a compilation of everything that stupid-ass Trump has said about Mark Robinson. Play the clip.
Mark Robinson, he's out there, he's fighting.
A very good man.
This is Martin Luther King on steroids. I think you're better than Martin Luther King. I think you are Martin Luther King times 2.
I think he's going to go down as one of the great leaders in our country. I've been with him a lot. I've gotten to know him, and he's outstanding. He's outstanding in presentation, but he's probably even more outstanding in heart. Somebody that we have to be very, very careful. We have to cherish. We have to cherish Mark. He's a star. You have to cherish him. Amen. It's like a fine wine, because that's what you have. You have a fine wine. He's an outstanding person. I've gotten to know him so well and fairly quickly.
Did you notice the accordion hands at the end? How many times have you heard me say that that is a tell from Trump that he knows he's lying? It's just a distraction move when he starts doing all of this. Every time you see Trump do that, just know he is lying. First of all, Mark Robinson is not a good man. Mark Robinson is an evil man. The fact that he believes himself to be a black Nazi, I mean, it's like being a tall, short guy. It just doesn't make any sense at all. So one of the things I would challenge Mark Robinson to do is, why don't you go spend a little time with some white supremacists, some neo-Nazi skinheads, and see what happens. See whether or not that they accept you as being a black Nazi. I mean, the whole concept, especially as the son of a Holocaust survivor, is so reprehensible. It is so un-American. It is so grotesque in so many different ways, especially acknowledging the significant rise of racism in this country, the insane rise of anti-Semitism in this country and abroad. It is stupid comments like that about Trump. Why does Trump like Mark Robinson? I mean, that's really the question I hope that you're asking yourself. And the answer is because Mark Robinson is supporting him, and he says good things about him, and because he's black. So you have a black man saying good things about Donald Trump. Therefore, no matter how demented Mark Robinson is, Donald will back him. Not because he's gotten to know Mark Robinson, not because he likes him or he could tell you anything about him, but simply because he praised him. Because in Donald's mind, that's, again, the single most important thing, adulation to Trump. And how scary is that when you start thinking about anybody, Putin, Mohammed bin Salman, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, whoever says something nice about Donald, all of a sudden, yeah, fuck our allies. Let's just hang out and cozy up to our adversaries. Something that we saw when Trump was president of the United States. But now, I want to show you a clip. There's been many allegations about Mark Robinson. Again, you heard me say he calls himself a black Nazi. He talks about reparations, but in a very twisted and demented way. We're going to get to that in a minute. But before I do, me show you this clip.
News media is at it again. My opponent is at it again. You all have seen the half-truths and outright lies of Josh Stein on these ads over and over again. And now a story leaked by him to CNN is appearing now. Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in that story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson. You know my words, you know my character, and you know that I have been completely transparent in this race and before. Folks, this race right now, our opponents are desperate to shift the focus here from the substantive issues and focus on what you are concerned with to salacious tabloid trash. We cannot allow that to happen. And folks, we've seen this type of stuff in the past as well. Clarence Thomas famously once said he was the victim of a high-tech lynching. Well, it looks like Mark Robinson is too, by a man who refuses to stand on stage and debate me about the real issues that face you. Instead, they want to focus on salacious tabloid lies. We're not going to let them do that. We are staying in this race. We are in it to win it. And we know that with your help, we will.
So let me just remind you what those salacious allegations are, which aren't really allegations, but in fact, they're factual. Mark Robinson is very anti-LGBTQ plus community. He is very anti-transgender and so on. But yet, a whole bunch of transgender porn somehow managed to show up on his site, on his computer. But yeah, don't consider any of that. I mean, don't trust your lying eyes to what's on his computer history and so on, because he says so, right? And just like in Clarence Thomas, there's a technological lynching. What he's referring to there is the allegations, those terrible, salacious allegations of Clarence Thomas being on the take by certain individuals who allegedly showered him with gifts and benefits and helped them out with some financial issues and mortgages. Oh yeah. That was Harlan Crow. It turned out to be right there, Mark. Yeah. And by the way, when I turned around and I said that Mark Robinson is no Martin Luther King Jr., let me be very clear. He is no Martin Luther King Jr. There's nothing that Martin Luther King Jr. ideologically has similar to this man. Nothing at all. And I want to be very clear about that. I also just want to bring up something that we didn't show in the clip, but I want you to Google it so that you understand that whatever it is that you hear me say, and I know a lot of people say, yeah, but you just don't like Trump. That's true. I have never, ever disputed that, especially since, of course, my release from prison. I can assure you that. But one of the things that Mark Robinson brings up is a very twisted and a very altered sense of slavery in this country. So, there's this ongoing debate about reparations to the Black community as reparations for many years of slavery that they were afflicted with. He has a very different sense. He believes that it is the Black community that owes the white community reparations, as the white slave owners, he calls them entrepreneurs, gave them food, clothing, and shelter for free. And as a direct result of that, nobody should get anything, according to Mark Robinson, for free. That the reparations should not go to the Black community, but rather the Black community owes it to the white community. This is another man who is trying to whitewash America's history, who has no comprehension about, obviously, the Civil War, about this time period in America's history, this grotesque time period. He clearly has no understanding of what anti-Semitism is all about, the Holocaust, and so on. I'll tell you what, when Mark Robinson loses, I myself would like to personally offer, I'll fly him Sit down. Have a conversation with my father. I welcome that. Sit down, have a conversation with my father instead of running off to Mar-a-Lago. They don't live too far from there. Make it your business. Sit down with somebody who is there so that you understand, you schmuck, you bloviated asshole who looks like he ate Martin Luther King. Sit down with somebody that lived through it so that you could understand the whole concept of being a black Nazi and what that actually even means. The vile term itself. And maybe then you'll be worthy one day of holding public office. But rest assured, Mark Robinson, you are not worthy today. And another person who is not worthy today is the guy who's backing you, the guy who thinks you're a really good guy, the guy who you have praised, and so you've figured out that the adulation is what will get him to endorse you. Makes no difference. You're going to lose too. And it's why I will end this episode by saying what I say all the time. Make sure that you are fully registered to vote. Go to vote.org and make sure on election day that you vote Harris Walz in 2024. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.